So I'm sure by now you've heard this story going around about Felicity Huffman, Lori Loughlin, and a whole amount of other people, like up to 50 people that were indicted today in this college admissions bribery case, right? The news broke this morning. I guess seeing headlines popping up on my phone. Lori Loughlin arrested. I'm all like, Lori Loughlin? What did she do? Pull a Jussie Smollett? I mean, what the hell? What did Lori Loughlin do? Felicity Huffman, what did she do? Besides star in really terrible ABC dramedies. But then we find out about this whole college admissions bribery case, and the whole story itself is pretty damn wild. It's pretty damn wild here, but TMZ gives us a nice, good, solid rundown. Saying Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin have been charged with 48 others in a massive bribery scam involving some of the most elite colleges in the country. Now, I just want to point out here, this is going to be a movie. I don't know when. I don't know by who. I don't know if it's going to be Lifetime. I don't know if it's going to be, HBO or Netflix is going to buy the rights to it and they're going to tell this story. But someone is going to make this a movie because you almost have to at this point. You almost have to make a story like this like a movie. Now, court records showed that the actresses and others allegedly paid hefty bribes, as much as $6 million, to get their kids in the various schools, including Yale, Stanford, Georgetown, and University of Southern California. Now, I wanted to attend USC when I was graduating high school. I wanted to go to USC, wanted to get into the film program, could not afford the money. It would have run me around $150,000 for the full 4 years. I don't have that kind of money. I didn't have that money then. I sure as hell don't have that money now. So you know what? I did what any other suburbanite young male would do. Went to community college. That's right. Went to community college. Didn't have my parents forking out $6 million to get into an Ivy League college. Now, the charges include conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services mail fraud. We've learned, this would be TMZ, that Felicity has been arrested and is presently in custody. We're told she'll be released on a bond, which essentially is a promise to appear in court. Yeah, I don't think Felicity Huffman's going to run. I don't think you got to worry about any of these people actually running. It's not like they don't have recognizable faces in their own right. If Lori Loughlin was to run, the final season of Fuller House on Netflix would just be utterly destroyed. Not really, but people would know. people would know. Now, the alleged scam was reportedly unearthed after authorities found a California businessman who ran an operation helping students get into the college of their choice. Authorities say that the parents would pay the man a predetermined amount, which he would then funnel to an SAT or an ACT administrator or a college athletic coach. That's brilliant. I mean, look, the morality aside, because this was definitely an immoral act, but just in essence, it was brilliant to go and pay some dude who runs a nonprofit to go and funnel money to an SAT taker or an ACT administrator or a college athletic coach. And in the case of Lori Loughlin, that's how her daughter got into USC by making the claim that she was an athlete, of which Lori Loughlin's daughter is not an athlete. Now, the feds say the money all went to a college coach, and the coach would arrange a fake profile that listed the student as an athlete. If that money went to an exam administrator, the administrator would either hire a proctor or take the SAT, ACT, or correct the student's answers. Now, when I was a teenager, the SATs, that was a big thing. You heard that like back in the day, right? All the TV shows, kids growing up, like, did you take your SAT? Did you know what you got on your SAT? If you don't get a good grade on your SAT, you're never going to go to college. You're never going to go get a real good job. You're going to be a fat, lazy bum who just works at goddamn 7-Eleven, right? There's a lot of pressure for kids to take the SATs. Yet when I was graduating in the year 2000, there was never pressure. No one ever came to me and they're like, "You take your SAT?" Because I never took my SAT, which is, again, why I went to community college. But I mean, again, it's like an aptitude test, right? It's just meant to get you to the next level, get you into the better schools and shit. And celebrities' kids, for the most part, ain't that smart. All right, like I once went to a party and had drinks with Meatloaf. Yeah, the artist Meatloaf, his daughter, very nice young lady. Her job at the time was posting on her company's Facebook feed for $10 an hour. This is in 2011 in Los Angeles. So, not saying she's not a bright person, just saying that just because you're a celebrity kid doesn't mean that everything is going to work out for you in the end. Although I don't think Meatloaf would have paid the money to get his daughter into a nice Ivy League school. Now, Loughlin and her husband, Massimo Giannulli, the founder of the Massimo... wow. The founder of Massimo Clothing. I thought Target owned that outright, but whatever. Allegedly paid $500,000 to have their two daughters designated as recruits for the crew team at USC, despite the fact they did not actually participate in crew. However, the feds say that Massimo sent action photos of their daughters on rowing machines. So they went to this guy. They went to this guy and they got him to create this false identity, this false athletic identity, and used it as a way to get in to USC. It's smart. It's so damn smart. But it goes on. Now, Massimo, who was charged, took a cheap shot at one university. According to the indictment, he wrote an email that he wanted to make sure we have a roadmap for success as it relates to our daughter and getting her into a school other than ASU. Well, obviously, Arizona State University, by the way, I think it's the number one party school in the country. It's the number one party school in the country for a long time, at least. And this is where the girl you see on the screen here, this is where they wanted her to go. She wanted to go to ASU. They didn't want to, but this is their daughter. This is their daughter right here. You can kind of see she looks a little bit like Lori Loughlin. And she's rocking, her name's Olivia Jade, and she's rocking 1.9 million subscribers on YouTube. 1.9 million subscribers on YouTube. The amount of money you're going to make with 1.9 million, you could pay for yourself to get into fucking OSC or to USC. So yeah. Now, Loughlin's daughter caught some flack last year when she posted a video about starting college. She says, "I really don't care about school," and explained that she was excited about partying and game days mostly, which angered viewers who commented calling her spoiled and privileged. She later apologized for her super ignorant, stupid comments. If you watch the clip here, which we will, you can tell she doesn't really give a crap about any of that stuff. Not at all.
Country, and that's her work. So I don't know how much of school I'm going to attend, but I'm going to go in and talk to my deans and everyone and hope that I can try and balance it all. But I do want the experience of like game days, partying. I don't really care about school, as you guys all know. Are you in a relationship right now? And
Yeah, I don't really care about school, like, as you guys, like, all know, right? Like, it's totally cool. I'm just going to go to game days and parties, and I don't care about school. My parents paid a lot of money for me to go to the school, but I don't care. Yeah, spoiled, entitled. That kind of comes up, right? It comes to mind. You think it does. It comes to mind. Now, Huffman here, because this is not as crazy in my opinion, but still what happened with Felicity Huffman, because her husband, William H. Macy, is a much bigger name than she is. He's on Showtime's Shameless, a very popular show, I think currently in like its 7th or 8th season. Now, her and her husband allegedly made charitable contribution of $15,000 to participate in the college entrance exam cheating scheme on behalf of their eldest daughter. The indictment says the daughter was given twice the amount of time to take the SAT as other students and paid the proctor, and the paid proctor agreed to secretly correct her answers afterward. The indictment says she received a 1420 on her SATs, an improvement of approximately 400 points over her PSAT. So her practice test was 400 points less than what she got in her actual SAT because they paid this dude, a lot of money, over 5 figures to do it. Now, Macy was not indicted, but according to the docs, the FBI recorded phone calls in which Loughlin and Huffman talked about the scheme with a witness who was cooperating with authorities. And the federal indictment out of Boston has a twist. It says most of the kids admitted into the schools had no idea their parents greased the wheels to get them in. No, these kids did. These kids did. The Loughlin children. I think they were fully aware of it. So what you have here is a situation where rich parents are getting their children into to higher education by greasing the wheels. And here's the thing. I don't really feel like it's that big of a deal. They live in a totally different world than the rest of us anyway, right? Like, they live in a totally different world than the goddamn rest of us. And they never play by the same rules. And I think almost any parent out there that wanted their kid to get a one-up in education would probably find a way to do something like this anyway. I'm not saying you should do it. I'm not saying that you should. I'm not saying that it was right that they did. I just don't view this as like a big mother of God moment. I just don't. There are far greater scams in this world that have been pulled off. But I will say, though, that that Lori Loughlin's daughter going out and saying, like, oh, I don't really care about school. Like, you know fully well what your parents did to get you in on this thing. So there's that. But what the article doesn't show you, it doesn't say, is that the guy who was behind it ran a nonprofit that they would pay into, that he would then funnel the money out. It was smart. The whole thing was smart. I'm actually impressed with how sophisticated this particular technique was. But at the end, all of these things, and this is what you need to remember, all of these things, they come crashing down. They always come crashing down. The government always finds a way to find out, and the government always comes for its due, and it won't stop until it fucks you. Because if anything in this world ever truly resembles Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator, it is the United States government. 100%. 100%.